Gibbs County Court at Law Number 2 is back in session. Court is in session with the arraignment docket. First case we're calling is cause number 23CCCR 0592. Case is styled State of Texas versus Jesse Gordon. Mr. Gordon, would you please come forward? Mr. Gordon, you can stand on the X in front of the bench. Mr. Gordon, your full name is Jesse Gordon?
Jesse Joe Gordon.
Terrell Gordon. Mr. Gordon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gordon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gordon, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gordon?
Okay.
You doing okay? Mr. Gordon, that's good. Mr. Gordon, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
The one I just filled out.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Are these your initials on the line stating you'd like to apply for court-appointed counsel?
Yes.
I also have another document here. This other document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Gordon, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes.
Did you understand what you read?
Yeah.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Gordon, I've read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Joel Vasquez will be given the information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. Our court coordinator is going to give you that information. Once you get the information from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Would you please have a seat at that first chair by the wall? Next case is cause number 23CCCR 0588. Case is styled State of Texas versus Reginald Blewett. Mr. Blewett, would you please come forward? Mr. Blewett, your full name is Reginald Blewett.
Yes.
Mr. Blewett, would you please raise your right hand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blewett, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blewett, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Blewett?
All right, I'm fine.
You fine? That's good. Now, Mr. Blewett, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page, at the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
There are a set of initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed attorney. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And I also have a document here that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indians. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature? Now, Mr. Blewett, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Blewett, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that will be appointed to represent you is Attorney William Wilkerson. Attorney Wilkerson will be given information on how to contact you, and you will be given information on how to contact Mr. Wilkerson. Now, Mr. Blewett, I also have before me I have some bond conditions for you. Mr. Bailey, would you please and Mr. Blewett. Now, Mr. Blewett, I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. And the document that you just been handed by the court's bailiff is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title? Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. That's the title of that form. Okay, I'm going to go over this document with you. And the document reads as follows. Following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies in a DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. Now, Mr. Blewett, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Okay. Now, before we go any further, Mr. Blewett, we're going to have you to have a seat in the jury box.
Here.
Yes. See if we can get Gary Gillian. Linda. Courtney Nett. Okay. This is cause number M327604, case of style of state of Texas versus Courtney Nett. Ms. Nett, is that your full name? Ms. Nett, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Nett, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Ms. Nett, you can put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Nett? That's good, Ms. Nett. I have before me 2 documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's out of defendant? You have to say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
And on this line, there are a set of initials stating that you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Nett, I also have another document that's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Ms. Nett, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did you read the documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Ms. Nett, I read your answers. Just please have a seat and we'll have a prosecutor will come out and talk to you. Next case is next 2 cases is cause number 23-CCCR-0618 and cause number 23-CCCR-619. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Jaden Lance Williams. Mr. Williams, would you please come forward? Mr. Williams, your full name is Jaden Lance Williams.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Williams, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Williams? You doing good? That's good. Now, Mr. Williams, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant? Or are these your initials on the line stating you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document here that's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Williams, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Williams, you're gonna have a seat, and then we'll have one of the prosecutors come up and talk to you. Yeah, we'll have these two prosecutors. Oh, okay, this is, okay, did we get his form? The gentleman in the back. Would you please come up?